Nous importons pour 1,5 milliard de dollars chaque année. Et le paradoxe, c'est que nous avons toutes les ressources naturelles. Donc nous avons les terres, les rivières, les climats même pour produire.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Micah chapter 4 verse 10. Be in pain, and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. Ezekiel chapter 20 verses 34 to 38. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Lord God. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
renewable energy resources, the world's mineral resources, arable land, diverse flora and fauna, and above all, a youthful population. Yet for a long time, we have always been characterized as a poor continent. But I'd like to tell you, my friends, we are not a poor continent. But for us to be recognized for who we really are, we need to unlock our collective socioeconomic potential. And it is critical that we accelerate our integration and create synergies and build our comparative advantages that allows us to freely trade with each other. We have to consolidate our markets and trade more with each other and allow free movement of people across borders. My brothers and sisters, I think let us be a bit realistic about what is going on in the world today. Many years ago, in Berlin, Europeans sat down and subdivided our continent, at times separating a brother from our sister. After they finished doing that and colonizing us, they went ahead and taught us to fear, hate, and keep away from each other. So you are my neighbor, but I fear you, and I don't want to mingle with you. Let me give you an example and use a few African examples. Today, it is easier for a European to travel within Europe without requirement of a visa. They can trade, make money, visit each other, spend money, and the European Union area, and they make a lot of money, they're becoming rich and rich every day. In Africa, our former colonies and what they taught us still prevails. Then they mingle among each other. Today in Africa, the reality is that for an African to visit a European nation, an ordinary African, to visit a European nation, is like, let me give you an example my teacher used to use. It's like trying to milk an elephant because of the visa process. However, for a European to visit an African nation, most of our nations, it is like a walk on the beach. It's like going to have a cup of tea. But then that is not the problem. The tragedy is that now for an African to visit a fellow African within the African Union, the visa restrictions in many of our nations, among us, between our brothers and sisters, is like trying to brush the teeth of a crocodile. They came, divided us, and they have taught us to keep each other from each other. Them, they're mingling with each other and making money and growing, but they have taught us to hate each other. But for us to really enjoy the true economic benefits of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we need to behave like the Europeans and allow for the free movement of people and trade. Our development agencies, such as the African Union Development Agency and others, cannot really succeed when there are all these restrictions among ourselves. To this end, in our contribution to this continental aspiration, Kenya is committed to progressively, and we are moving very fast by the end of this year, to abolish visas to citizens from African Union member states to make it easier to invest and do business in Kenya and across the continent. We are going to open the borders of Kenya. We do not fear our fellow Africans. Come, travel to Kenya. Live, do business in Kenya. Trade, make money in Kenya. And we hope we'll get reciprocity with the rest of you. Let us open our continent so that we can make money and live together. Let us remove the shackles of colonialism that are still embedded in our heads and be able to move forward.
We have already made the decision as the government of Kenya that for you people from Congo, Brazzaville, from tomorrow, you will not need any visa to come to Kenya. It is part of the reason that we'll begin to increase trade between our countries. When people move, ideas move. Relationships are built. Business is built. Enterprise is built. Trade is built. And that is what we must do. your policymakers, I really want to persuade you. We now have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that is going to facilitate trade between all our countries. Among the conversations we are going to have with President Sassou is how to connect the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic by road. From Mombasa to Kampala, the road is already built. From Kampala to Beni, the road is being built. We want to build it now from Beni to Kisangani, and then from Kisangani, we want to bring it all the way to Pont Noir here, by road, by water, and by rail.